Imagine waking up every morning with unstoppable momentum, knowing that every choice you make, every action you take is moving you closer to the life you've always dreamed of. Imagine no more excuses, no more waiting for the perfect time, no more blaming circumstances or other people for your results. Today, right now, you have the power to take control, to own your life, and to hold yourself accountable like never before. Because when you embrace accountability, every day becomes an opportunity to grow, to level up, and to create results that once felt impossible. Look, the first step to leveling up every single day starts with one thing: owning your choices. Not tomorrow, not next week. Right now, every single action you take, every decision you make, every result in your life, you have fingerprints on it. And I mean your fingerprints, not someone else's, not your circumstances, not the economy, not your parents, not your past. You. Now, I know what some of you are thinking, but life isn't fair. I didn't get a head start. Things happen to me. And you're right, life doesn't hand out fairness like candy. But here's the powerful truth. Fairness has nothing to do with your results. The moment you stop blaming and start owning, you shift from being a victim of circumstance to being the architect of your destiny. Imagine the energy that's released when you stop wasting time complaining and start asking, what can I do right now to change this? That's the energy that turns ordinary people into unstoppable forces. Excuses are subtle killers. They creep in quietly, whispering things like, it's too hard, or I'll start tomorrow, or I can't because of what happened before. And if you let them, they will keep you stuck in the same place year after year, thinking you're trying, but never really moving forward. The truth is, it's not about trying, it's about deciding. Deciding that no matter what, you are fully responsible for your life. Not partially, not sometimes, not when it's convenient. Fully. Take a moment and picture your life if every time something didn't go your way, you asked yourself this simple question: what is my part in this? Because here's the thing, there is always a part you played. You might not have caused the circumstances, but you always have control over your response. That response, that choice, is where your power lies. This is where ordinary people step aside and extraordinary people rise. And here's where it gets exciting. Owning your choices doesn't mean beating yourself up. It doesn't mean living in guilt or shame. It means claiming your power. You might have made mistakes yesterday. You might have failed spectacularly. You might have hurt someone you love or sabotaged your own progress. But none of that matters now. What matters is the decision you make in this very moment to take control. That's the magic of accountability. That's the magic of owning your life. When you own it, you stop waiting for permission. You stop waiting for the world to be fair. You start creating results because you are responsible not for everything that happens to you, but for what you do about it. Some of you have been hiding behind reasons. Reasons are comfortable, but they are illusions. They feel safe, but they are chains. And the moment you break free from them, you'll realize something amazing. Life responds to ownership. People respect you more, opportunities show up faster, and the sense of pride you feel is unstoppable. That's the feeling of power you get when you refuse to blame and refuse to make excuses. It's intoxicating because it works. Every time you step up and own your actions, you reinforce your ability to level up again tomorrow. Now, this isn't easy. Let's be honest. Taking full responsibility can feel heavy at first. There's a weight in saying, this is on me. I am responsible for the outcome. But here's the twist: that weight is exactly what gives you freedom. Freedom isn't getting everything handed to you. Freedom is knowing that no matter what happens, you have the ability to respond and to influence the results in your life. That is power, that is independence, and that is where real transformation begins. So today I want you to make a choice. I want you to look at yourself in the mirror and say, I own this. I own my life. I am responsible for my results, and I am not hiding behind excuses anymore. That one sentence is a declaration of war against mediocrity. It's a commitment to yourself that you will no longer wait for conditions to be perfect. You will no longer let fear or doubt dictate your actions. You will step forward fully aware that the outcome rests in your hands and that you are capable of creating greatness. Because the truth is, the world doesn't hand out success to the hesitant. It doesn't reward those who sit on the sidelines waiting for life to get easier. Success, growth, and leveling up come to the people who look at themselves honestly, take responsibility, and act decisively every single day. That's the difference between living passively and living powerfully. So stop waiting, stop blaming, stop hiding, own it. Own your choices, own your results, own your life, and then watch everything change. You see, the second step to leveling up every single day is understanding the power of small wins. Most people get it wrong. They think success is some sudden explosion, some big event that changes everything overnight. But that's not how life works. Real transformation comes from tiny, consistent actions that over time compound an unstoppable momentum. It's not the giant leaps that change your life. It's the small steps you take every single day. Think about it. You don't start running a marathon by sprinting 26 miles on the first day. You start with 1 mile, then another, then 5. And before you know it, your body, your mind, your habits are aligned for success. That's exactly how leveling up works. Every small decision, every micro action, every tiny win adds to a growing snowball of achievement. And when that snowball starts rolling, nothing can stop it. Now, here's the thing. Small wins are powerful because they are visible and achievable. They give you proof that you are capable, that you are progressing, and that you are not stuck in the same place you were yesterday. Every time you complete a small task, it triggers a sense of accomplishment in your brain, A hit of confidence that propels you forward. It's like adding fuel to a fire. And that fire grows hotter and brighter with every action you take. But here's where most people fail. They underestimate the tiny steps. They wait for some perfect big opportunity, or they look for massive breakthroughs. And when those don't happen immediately, they give up frustrated, thinking that progress isn't coming. That's the trap. That's the illusion that keeps people stagnant. You don't need massive results today. You need consistent effort. You need the discipline to say, I will do what I can today, and I will do it again tomorrow. That's what separates winners from dreamers. Imagine this. If you decide to improve just one small area of your life every single day, what would happen in a month, in a year? It's staggering. Reading 10 pages a day adds up to hundreds of pages a month. Saving a little money daily builds a financial cushion over time. Exercising for 10 minutes daily strengthens your body far more than waiting for the perfect hour to work out. The key is consistency. Momentum is born when small wins become habits, and habits compound into transformation. And here's the magic part. These small wins don't just build external results, they shape your identity. Every action you take reinforces who you believe you are. When you show up daily, even in minor ways, you start telling yourself, I am someone who takes action. I am someone who follows through. I am someone who grows every day. That identity shift is what makes long-term change inevitable, because it becomes who you are, not just what you do. Think of a mountain. To most people, it's intimidating, impossible, overwhelming. But when you break it down into steps, one foot in front of the other, the mountain becomes manageable. That's the exact principle here. Your big dreams might feel impossible, but if you focus on one small, consistent action each day, those dreams begin to materialize, the impossible shrinks, and suddenly your goals feel achievable because you've been moving in the right direction all along. And let's be honest, life is messy. There will be setbacks, distractions, moments when you feel like giving up, but that's when small wins matter even more. They remind you that progress is still possible even when circumstances are tough. They keep your momentum alive even in the face of challenges. You may not conquer everything at once, but you can conquer the next step, the next task, the next action, and over time, those steps lead to victory. Here's what I want you to understand. Leveling up every day is not about perfection. It's not about doing everything right. It's about doing something consistently. It's about building a pattern of success so strong that it carries you through the hardest times. Each day, each small win is a brick in the foundation of your future. And when that foundation is solid, no obstacle, no setback, no excuse can shake you. So today, I want you to commit to one small action that moves you forward, just one. Maybe it's writing down your goal, making a call, taking a short walk, reading a few pages. Whatever it is, do it, and then do it again tomorrow and the next day and the day after. Keep adding wins, keep building momentum, and soon you'll look back and be astonished at how far you've come. Momentum doesn't come from waiting for perfect conditions. Momentum comes from showing up, doing the work, and celebrating the small victories along the way. Those victories fuel your confidence, reinforce your identity, and set the stage for massive results that you never thought were possible. The key to leveling up isn't doing more tomorrow. It's winning today, consistently, relentlessly, without waiting. The next step in leveling up every single day is tracking, measuring, and reflecting. You see, too many people operate on autopilot, moving through their days without truly knowing where they're going or how they're progressing. They have goals, they have dreams, they have aspirations, but they don't have a system to see if what they're doing actually works. And here's the hard truth. If you don't measure, you can't improve. You can't grow what you can't see. Let me ask you this. How do you know if you're winning if you never check the scoreboard? Life is full of distractions, full of noise, full of things that pull you away from what matters. And if you don't take a moment to pause, to review, to reflect, you'll keep spinning your wheels without making real progress. Tracking isn't about obsessing over every little thing. It's about creating clarity. It's about asking, am I moving in the right direction? Are my actions producing the results I want? That simple question can change everything. When you track your progress, you give yourself proof. You give yourself data that removes doubt. Instead of saying, I think I'm improving, you can see it, you can feel it, you can measure it, and that's powerful. It builds confidence, it builds momentum. It keeps you honest. Without measurement, you're just hoping. And hope is not a strategy. Action plus insight equals results. And insight only comes when you take the time to measure. Now, measuring doesn't have to be complicated. You don't need fancy tools or expensive programs. A journal, a simple spreadsheet, a daily checklist, these are enough. Every night, write down what you did, what worked, what didn't, and what you learned. Every morning, review it, set your intention, and adjust your actions based on what you've learned. This is how champions operate. This is how people who consistently level up create unstoppable momentum. They don't guess, they track, they measure, and they reflect. Reflection is perhaps the most powerful piece of the puzzle. It's one thing to record your actions, but it's another to sit with them, to think critically about them, and ask yourself, what does this teach me? How can I do better tomorrow? Reflection turns experience into wisdom. Without reflection, mistakes become repetitions. With reflection, mistakes become lessons, lessons become insights, and insights become breakthroughs. Think about it like this. If you're driving across the country without a map or GPS, you might eventually get somewhere, but will it be where you want to go? Will it be the fastest route, the safest route, the route that allows you to enjoy the journey? Of course not. Tracking and reflecting is your GPS. It keeps you on course, allows you to adjust when the road changes, and ensures that every step you take brings you closer to your destination. And here's the exciting part: tracking and reflecting doesn't just improve your results, it changes your mindset. When you regularly review your actions and see how they impact your results, you develop a sense of ownership and control. You stop blaming circumstances. You stop feeling helpless. You start realizing that your actions matter more than anything else, and that your future is determined not by luck, but by the decisions you make every single day. Let me be real with you. Some days, tracking will reveal that you're off course. You'll see mistakes, missed opportunities, or failures staring back at you. That can feel uncomfortable, but discomfort is the price of growth. When you face reality honestly, you give yourself the chance to course, correct, to learn, and to level up faster than anyone who refuses to look at the truth. Avoiding reality doesn't protect you. It keeps you stuck. Facing reality, measuring progress, and reflecting intelligently propels you forward. The best part is that once you start tracking, measuring, and reflecting consistently, momentum builds automatically. You begin to notice patterns. You begin to anticipate obstacles. You begin to recognize what actions create the biggest impact. Suddenly, your days are no longer random. Your actions are deliberate, purposeful, and aligned with your goals. You're no longer hoping to level up. You're creating it systematically with intention and precision. So today, I want you to commit to a simple practice. Start small if you need to. At the end of every day, write down what you accomplished, what you learned, and what you could improve. At the beginning of every day, review it, set your intention, and act with purpose. Do this consistently, and you'll see progress not as a distant dream, but as a tangible reality. You'll be amazed at how quickly you grow when you pay attention to your actions and measure the results. Because the truth is, momentum isn't random. Success isn't random. Growth isn't random. They're the results of consistent action combined with honest tracking, thoughtful measurement, and reflection that turns every experience into insight. And the more you practice this, the more automatic it becomes. You start seeing your life clearly, and you start steering it intentionally. That's how ordinary days turn into extraordinary results, one reflection at a time. Now, let's talk about something most people avoid at all costs: discomfort. Growth, progress, and leveling up don't happen in comfort zones. They happen in the moments that make you squirm, that make your heart race, that make you question if you're capable. Most people spend their lives running from discomfort, hiding behind routines, distractions, and excuses. They chase ease, convenience, and certainty, and they wonder why their lives feel stuck. Here's the truth: comfort is the enemy of progress. If you want to level up, you have to step into the fire. You have to lean into the tension, the challenges, the pressure, and the things that make you uncomfortable. That's where transformation happens. Think about it. Every person who's ever achieved greatness has faced discomfort. They've taken risks, asked hard questions, pushed themselves past their limits, and done things that scared them. And here's the thing: they didn't wait until they felt ready. They didn't wait until the circumstances were perfect. They stepped forward anyway, and it was in those uncomfortable moments that they discovered their strength. Discomfort is not a sign you're failing, it's a sign you're growing. I want you to picture your comfort zone as a small, cozy room. It's safe, familiar, predictable. And for a while, it feels good. But the moment you decide to stay in that room forever, you stop growing, you stop learning, you stop creating. Life exists outside that room. Opportunities exist outside that room. Your dreams exist outside that room. And the only way to reach them is to take that first step into the unknown, into the uncomfortable, into the uncertainty. Embracing discomfort doesn't mean being reckless or ignoring wisdom. It means being willing to face challenges head on, knowing that growth is on the other side. It means doing the hard work when no one is watching. It means having the courage to confront your fears, your doubts, your limiting beliefs, and saying, I'm not going to let this stop me. That courage is contagious, and it becomes a habit. Every time you lean into discomfort, you train your mind and body to expand your limits. Every time you do the hard thing, you prove to yourself that you are capable of more than you thought. Now, let's be honest, discomfort is not pleasant. It's not fun. It's uncomfortable, awkward, sometimes painful. That's exactly why it's so powerful, because anything worth having, anything that truly transforms your life, requires effort, focus, and resilience. There is no shortcut. There is no magic formula. There is only the willingness to endure the discomfort, to push through the resistance, and to keep going when it would be easier to quit. The people who succeed are not those who avoid challenges. They're the ones who use them as fuel. They see obstacles as opportunities to grow. Pressure is a test of strength, and failure is feedback. Every uncomfortable situation is a chance to prove to yourself who you really are, what you're really capable of, and how far you can go. And every time you survive discomfort, you build confidence, resilience, and momentum that will carry you through even greater challenges. Here's the thing about discomfort: it's temporary, but the rewards are lasting. The fear, the stress, the awkwardness, they fade. What remains is the growth, the skill, the knowledge, the courage, and the strength you didn't have before. And when you start to embrace discomfort regularly, it stops being intimidating. You realize that it's not the enemy, it's the doorway to the life you've always wanted. Think about the small steps you can take today to lean into discomfort. Maybe it's having a difficult conversation you've been avoiding. Maybe it's taking a risk on a project, a relationship, or an opportunity that scares you. Maybe it's pushing yourself physically, mentally, or emotionally beyond what feels safe. Whatever it is, commit to taking action, even if it's uncomfortable. The more you practice, the easier it becomes, and the more you expand what's possible in your life. Most people think that comfort is safety, but true safety comes from growth, from strength, from resilience. The more you embrace discomfort, the less control fear has over you. The more you practice leaning into it, the more you expand your capacity for success, happiness, and freedom. And the beautiful thing is that discomfort is universal. It touches everyone. What separates the people who succeed from those who stay stuck is the willingness to face it, to move through it, and to use it as a catalyst for transformation. So today, I want you to ask yourself a question. Where in your life are you avoiding discomfort? Where are you holding back because it's uncomfortable, uncertain, or risky? And what would happen if you leaned in instead of stepping back? Because every moment you choose courage over comfort, you take one step closer to the life you deserve. Every time you do the hard thing, you prove to yourself that nothing can stop you. Not fear, not doubt, not failure. Discomfort is not the enemy. It's the signal that you're growing, leveling up, and becoming the person you were meant to be. One of the most overlooked keys to leveling up every day is the people you surround yourself with. You see, no one achieves greatness alone. You can have the strongest mindset, the clearest vision, and the fiercest determination, but if the people around you are dragging you down, doubting you, or distracting you, your potential will be limited. You become the average of the people you spend the most time with. So if you want to level up, you have to choose your circle carefully, intentionally, and strategically. Accountability partners are more than just friends or colleagues. They are the people who challenge you, who push you to do more than you think you can, and who hold you responsible when you're tempted to settle for less. They are your mirrors reflecting back your strengths, your blind spots, and the gaps between where you are and where you want to be. They ask the hard questions, they celebrate your wins, and they demand that you show up even when you don't feel like it. Surrounding yourself with these people creates a force multiplier in your life. It accelerates your growth, amplifies your momentum, and keeps you honest with yourself. Now, accountability doesn't work if it's only one-sided. It's not about finding someone to boss you around or nag you. It's about mutual commitment to growth. The strongest accountability relationships are built on trust, respect, and shared goals. When you know that someone is counting on you and that you are counting on them, you rise to the occasion in ways you never would on your own. That pressure, that responsibility becomes fuel. It pushes you to show up consistently, to perform at your best, and to break through barriers that once seemed impossible. Think about it like this. If you're climbing a mountain, it's much easier with a team. You help each other over the rough terrain. You share the load, and you encourage each other when the path gets steep. You hold each other accountable to keep moving forward even when your energy wanes. And when one person stumbles, the others lift them up. That's exactly what accountability partners do in life. They help you climb higher, move faster, and reach further than you could alone. The people you surround yourself with also shape your mindset, habits, and beliefs. If you spend your time with people who doubt themselves, procrastinate, or complain constantly, those behaviors rub off on you. Conversely, when you surround yourself with people who are ambitious, disciplined, and committed to growth, their energy and habits become contagious. You start thinking bigger, acting bolder, and refusing to settle for mediocrity. Your environment literally determines your trajectory, and accountability partners are one of the most powerful environmental influences you can have. But here's the real magic. Accountability partners don't just push you externally, they push you internally. They make you face yourself honestly. They help you see where you're hiding behind excuses, where you're avoiding discomfort, and where you're capable of more than you've admitted. They hold up a mirror to your life and force you to confront the truth. And while that can be uncomfortable at first, it's the discomfort that drives growth. Because when you face reality and take responsibility alongside someone who genuinely cares, you can't hide, you can't lie to yourself, and you can't settle for less. Finding accountability partners doesn't have to be complicated. It can be a mentor, a coach, a peer, or a friend who shares your drive and vision. It can be a small group that meets regularly to set goals, review progress, and push each other forward. What matters most is that the relationship is intentional and committed. You need someone who will ask, did you do what you said you were going to do? Someone who will celebrate your wins, but also challenge your excuses. Someone who believes in your potential enough to refuse to let you settle for less than you are capable of. And let's be real, there will be people who are not supportive. There will be people who doubt you, who try to pull you back, who are threatened by your growth. That's normal. In fact, you should expect it. But that's exactly why accountability partners are so critical. They provide a safe and empowering space to be ambitious, to take risks, and to push your limits without judgment. They are your champions when the world is indifferent or resistant. The truth is, we are wired for connection. We thrive in community. We need support, guidance, and encouragement. Accountability partners give you all of that while also challenging you to rise above comfort, fear, and doubt. They give you structure in the chaos, motivation when your energy fades, and perspective when your focus wavers. With the right people by your side, you can accomplish far more, grow faster, and stay on track with your highest goals. So today, I want you to look at your circle. Are the people around you lifting you up, challenging you, holding you accountable, or are they keeping you comfortable, safe, and stagnant? Because your results are a reflection of the company you keep. If you want to level up, you must surround yourself with people who are committed to growth, who demand excellence, and who will never let you settle for mediocrity. Accountability partners don't just make you better, they make your dreams inevitable. Finally, let's talk about something that's often overlooked, but absolutely critical if you want to level up every day, celebrating your wins and learning from your losses. You see, most people either ignore their victories or beat themselves up for their failures. Both are dangerous. Ignoring your wins robs you of momentum, motivation, and confidence. Obsessing over your losses robs you of perspective, energy, and focus. If you want to truly level up, you need to embrace both sides, the wins and the setbacks, and use them as fuel for growth. Let's start with wins. Every time you take action, every time you make progress, even in the smallest way, it's a victory. And victories, no matter how minor, deserve acknowledgement. When you celebrate wins, you reinforce the behavior that created them. Your brain responds to acknowledgement with a sense of pride and satisfaction, and that feeling motivates you to take the next step. Think about it. If you take a small action today and ignore it, the momentum dies. But if you pause, acknowledge it, and say, yes, I did that, you're programming yourself to repeat it, to build consistency, and to climb higher. Wins, no matter how small, are the building blocks of massive success. Celebration doesn't mean extravagance or self-indulgence. It means recognition. It means taking a moment to pause and feel the impact of your actions. It could be as simple as marking progress in a journal, sharing your accomplishment with a trusted friend, or giving yourself a quiet moment of gratitude. That acknowledgement is powerful. It signals to your mind that your effort matters, that you're moving forward, and that growth is possible. When you celebrate your wins, you build momentum that carries you through challenges, setbacks, and moments of doubt. But let's not forget the other side: losses, failures, mistakes. These are inevitable. No one escapes them. The difference between those who level up and those who stay stuck isn't that they avoid failure, it's that they learn from it. Every loss is a lesson if you're willing to look at it honestly. Instead of asking, why me? Or why does this always happen? Ask, what can I learn? What insight does this give me? How can I do better next time? When you adopt this mindset, failure stops being a roadblock and starts being a stepping stone. Reflection is critical here. After a setback, take the time to analyze what happened without judgment. Identify what was within your control and what wasn't. Understand the decisions, actions, and behaviors that contributed to the outcome. Then make a conscious choice to adjust, improve, and apply that knowledge moving forward. This is how lessons become growth. This is how mistakes turn into mastery. And here's the most important part: when you combine celebrating wins with learning from losses, you create a cycle of continuous improvement that propels you higher than you ever imagined. Think about it like this: if you only focus on wins, you risk arrogance or complacency. If you only focus on losses, you risk discouragement or paralysis. But when you honor both, you create balance, awareness, and resilience. You start seeing life as a series of opportunities to act, learn, and improve. You begin to understand that there are no permanent failures, only temporary results and lessons waiting to be applied. That mindset is what separates those who plateau from those who keep leveling up relentlessly. Celebrating wins also fuels confidence. Confidence isn't built from luck, chance, or waiting for perfect conditions. It's built from consistent action and tangible proof that you can achieve results. Every time you acknowledge a win, you reinforce your belief in yourself. You remind yourself that you are capable, that your effort matters, and that progress is inevitable when you take consistent, intentional action. That confidence is a catalyst. It propels you to take on challenges that once seemed impossible. And learning from losses builds resilience. Life will challenge you. People will doubt you. Circumstances will test you. But the ability to extract lessons from every setback, to adjust your approach, and to keep moving forward is what turns temporary failure into long-term success. Losses stop being something to fear. They become opportunities to refine, to sharpen, and to evolve. When you embrace both wins and losses, you gain mastery over your reactions, your mindset, and ultimately your results. So today I want you to commit to celebrating your wins, no matter how small, and learning from your losses, no matter how painful. Pause to recognize progress, reflect honestly on setbacks, apply the lessons. And then keep moving forward, stronger, smarter, and more capable than before. This is how momentum is built. This is how growth becomes inevitable. This is how you truly level up every day. Because the truth is, your journey is not measured by perfection. It's measured by your ability to acknowledge your victories, embrace your lessons, and keep showing up with courage, clarity, and commitment.